Yeah, so if people in this country don't know what empathy is, there's no way that any problem will ever be solved. Okay? And that's why a lot of people in the world who we could call a long name that starts with an N, okay? This word gets thrown around a little too loosely. There have been a lot of YouTube videos about it. A lot of people claiming that they can help you deal with abuse from these people, okay? These types of people don't have empathy. Well, if they do, it's cognitive and only cognitive. So they realize the value of empathy. They realize that, oh, other people value this in society, so maybe I should pretend to have it. So they might study people long enough to be able to mirror their behavior. And they at some point will fuck it up, because if they don't know what actual empathy is, the mask will slip and it'll be really apparent. Maybe not to most people, but to people like me and to people like y'all, I'm assuming. It'll be apparent that they were full of shit. But yeah, when people don't know what empathy is, it's really easy to get self-righteous and just assume that you know what's best for people, or that you know what somebody else is experiencing. And but if you actually had the real stuff, you would know that you can't really ever understand what somebody is experiencing. The most you can hope for is to try, but you still don't know. I mean, I can look at society and be like, yeah, society would be better off if certain things weren't allowed. Oh, hey. In my pocket this whole time. Which makes sense. That's probably where my cigarettes would be as well, if I didn't smash them. I find broken toothpicks all the time too. Sometimes I'll step on them. But at least I'm not stepping on cigarettes. Marlboro Flats. Newport Flats. You know, I started smoking Camel Turkish Golds. That was like the first cigarette that I ever smoked. I'm trying to remember what the last one was. I think it was like Newport. Because I eventually switched to menthols, and once you switch to menthols, you cannot go back to smoking regular cigarettes. Something about that fiberglass, man. Anyway, it's kind of like once you go black, you can't go back. It's very true, since black people smoke menthols. That's really funny. That's a good stereotypical joke that only black people would understand and appreciate. Black people that smoke, specifically. Of all the black people I have ever met and hung out with, maybe 2 of them smoked non-menthols. The rest of them all smoked menthols. So, yeah. Something about that fiberglass. But shit. What the fuck was I talking about? Empathy. Yeah, so if you really want to understand problems, and if you really want to understand another person, like, you have to take yourself out. The way that you look at things, your opinions, your biases, all of that, you have to completely remove yourself from all that. And that's really, really hard. Which is why most people don't do it, because they don't even know how to do it. They don't even know it's possible. And so the more narcissistic a person is, yes, I just used the word, the less they can even understand that, you know? Like, they can't understand how another person can live in the world that they live in. They can't understand how another person can have the headspace that they do, because they don't really think about their experience. They never even consider the fact that, oh, that person's experience is a lot different. And I know I'm guilty of this shit too. Like, there are things that I'm really opinionated about. But I don't like that about myself, you know. I don't want my opinions to govern anything. You know? I want the God conscience inside of me to govern all of my actions. I don't think it can govern all my thoughts, but it can definitely govern my actions. So I'm not acting on my thoughts. I'm not acting on my opinions. I mean, I don't think that I do for the most part, but I mean, this stuff that I say on here, I mean, I know it's very offensive, but this is my YouTube channel. I don't know if you know that, but welcome, okay? Plenty of YouTube channels that have less offensive content that you could be watching. All kinds of stuff on YouTube. I mean, I'm really grateful for YouTube. As much of a pain in the ass as it is with the algorithm and stuff, whatever. It's the way of the world. It is. I just always think about the band Pearl Jam, you know? And all these other bands, like, tried to emulate Eddie Vedder, and, you know, it's like all throughout the span of time, people mimic what's popular, and whatever makes money is what's pushed, and whatever's mainstream is what's pushed, and then people go along with that, and a lot of people now go along with feminism because they think that's what they're supposed to do, you know, because it's been accepted in society, and the same thing with the LGBT stuff, and that's what people don't understand, that, like, it's culture. So it's not because people actually accept any of this stuff, it's because they're brainwashed. Everybody's brainwashed, though, so you can say that about this culture in particular, you can say that about the left, it's always true. This just seems like considerably worse. But I'm telling you, it's because of the internet. If you didn't spend so much time in this alternate universe where fake people love to congregate, you wouldn't be so depressed.